Good evening and welcome to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen Workshop. It is May 30th, 2024, and it is 6:30 p.m. I call this workshop to order. The prayer on Tuesday night will be with Alderwoman Haas. We will have the presentation of the colors from the Laverne Department Honor Guard, and then the Pledge of Allegiance will be with Alderman Waldron. Everyone should have a copy of the minutes from the May 2nd, 2024 workshop, and then the May 7th, 2024 regular meeting. We will have a Citizen Commendation Award for James Snyder. Public comment period. We did have one person sign up, Brenda Bryant, but she, before the meeting, did say that she does not want to speak. So we have no one else signed up for the public comment period. We will have the departmental reports on Tuesday. And then moving on to old business, second reading 2024-06, an ordinance of the City of Laverne, Tennessee, adopting the annual budget and tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025. A public hearing will be held Tuesday, June the 4th at 6:30 p.m. on this. Again, this is second reading on the budget. Is there any questions? Moving on to second reading ordinance 2024-07, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2023-2024 equitable sharing budget. Again, this is second reading, and this is just a budget amendment for purchases made by the police department. Does anyone have any questions? Seeing none, we're going to move on to the consent agenda. The first we've got is approve or reject bids and purchases. We've got number one, request for qualifications, stormwater monitoring consultant. And the city's received three bids, they opened three statements of qualifications back in April for stormwater monitoring consultant. The consultant is needed to help the city comply with the 2022 small MS4 general NPDES permits. And so at this time, after reviewing those, staff is recommending that the city move forward with CEC, which is Civil Environmental Consultants. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to number two, buy board contract purchase, and this is for ballistic vests for the police department. And this is pretty straightforward. Funds are in the budget for this, and it is the cost of each of these vests is $1,626.18. Does anyone have any questions? Number three, Sourcewell contract purchase, office supplies, break room supplies, and furniture from Staples. And again, this is all being purchased from budgeted funds from each department, and it's various items that I just mentioned. Is there any questions? Number four, Sourcewell contract purchase, generator maintenance, and this is maintenance on all of our city generators. The annual cost for this year will be $27,821.70. Next year, the cost would be $43,063.50, and then in 2026, the cost will go up to $44,787.75. This is the discount that is provided with the Sourcewell contract, and all these funds are budgeted as preventative maintenance. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to B, approve annual renewal of the SMARSH service agreement, and this is for city email and text messaging archiving. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to C, approve public entity partners insurance renewal for 24-25. And again, this is just our annual insurance renewal with PIP. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to D, approve annual contract with TDOT for the maintenance of Murfreesboro Road. Again, this is our regular contract we do with them. The maximum amount we can receive from this state contract is $29,564.46, and the typical amount received each year for mowing and trash pickup is around $5,000. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to E, approve a contract with Kimberly Horn Engineering for professional asset management services. And it is just like it sounds. The total cost for this is $90,000. This is budgeted, and these funds are available through the street department. Is there any questions? Moving on to F. Approve change order number 5 with Romac Construction Company for the construction of the new Fire Station 41 headquarters. This is just a change order for additional costs. It is taken from the contingency. It's $66,920.38. Does anyone have any questions on that change order? Moving on to G, approve quote for Tyler Technologies for the Enterprising Permitting Licensing Decision Engine Module. And this is a monthly fee of $580 for this. Total cost over the year is $6,960. It'll be in addition to what we pay InterGov and InterGov Assist. It'll simplify the online permitting process. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to H, approve quote from Tyler Technologies to use Tyler Payments as the credit card processor for the InterGov permitting system. And again, that is just exactly what it sounds like. It ties in with the online permitting system to do the payment processing. So there's a one-time cost of $1,260 for the equipment, and then and PCI service fee, and an annual reoccurring fee of $360. Does anyone have any questions? Seeing none, we're going to move on to new business. First reading ordinance 2024-08, an ordinance to amend Title 20, Chapter 2, Section 20-204-13 of the Vergne Municipal Code regarding park hours. And this is just something we've talked about. There's no financial impact with this, but it's just as far as working on our hours and the proposed hours of operation for the park going forward, if this is approved, would be from dawn till 10 p.m. So that's essentially what it's doing. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, number 9. First reading 2024-09, an ordinance to amend the Vergne Municipal Code by deleting Title 2, Chapter 3, Senior Citizens Advisory Committee. And again, this is just like it sounds. With the 54 in place and them establishing their own committee, this would not be, as far as this committee wouldn't be needed anymore. Does anyone have any questions? Moving on to number 10, first reading ordinance 2024-10, an ordinance to amend Title 18, Chapter 4, Section 18-406 of the Vergne Municipal Code regarding Service Connect fees. And let's just scroll over here. And so this is just basically one of the big things it's dealing with is reconnection fees. And so with this process, there's no financial impact with this, but the current process that we have, or current section we have, is in the event service is disconnected for non-payment, a reconnection fee as set forth in the fee schedule adopted by the annual budget will be required for reconnection. The proposed language puts down that in the event of service disconnected for non-payment, a reconnection fee as set forth in the fee schedule will be required for reconnection or request for reconnection made after the time specified in the fee schedule will not be considered until 8 a.m. the next business day. And so previously we'd established 2 types of reconnection fees. One regular business hours, the other after business hours. And so in the municipal code, the cutoff time for after hour reconnections was 10 p.m. But the practice for the cutoff time for reconnections has been 8 p.m. for many years. So the amendment removes the specific time from the municipal code and places it in the fee schedule. And the proposed time for the fee schedule is 8 p.m. Does anyone have a question?
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second, because there's always conversations coming up. But just, Mayor, give us an idea about, my water bill is due on the 15th of the month. I don't pay it on the 15th. When do I get my first notice, and then how long is it until it's cut off?
I don't remember the exact number of days. Danielle or Phyllis, do y'all remember the exact number? I know the water department's not under finance.
I honestly don't remember. We can find out by.
No, that's fine. I just know that people at home listening, there always seems to be this big hoopla about, I was 2 days late. They cut my water off, and I didn't get no notice. And you know where I'm coming from. And,
yes.
And I just thought, so maybe at Tuesday's meeting, Bruce can answer us.
We can email you probably tomorrow and give you those answers. Or text you, however you want us to respond.
I just like for folks listening at home to just be crystal clear on the process of how that goes.
I know since we updated the water billing cycle, as far as we're not billing as far in the rears as we used to. It's now you're getting a bill for the month prior versus 2 months ago. So you've got more of a window than you did in the past. But I don't remember that exact date, but they'll get that for you in the morning. Any other questions on this?
Yeah, since we're on the water bill, talk about the water bill going up.
Well, this is about the reconnection fees, Alderman Waldron. This is about the reconnection fees.
I know, but we on the water, somebody brought the water bill, and I'm going to talk
Well,
about it.
we're talking about the reconnection right now, the ordinance. So is your question regarding that?
The only question I got, if the
Is it in regards to the
People who-
reconnection?
who don't use the 2,000 gallons of water, I like to see them not be a part of the raise, because a lot of people uses 800 or 900, and you allow 2,000 before you registered. That's my main question right now. Thank you.
Moving on to number 11, first reading ordinance 2024-11, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2023-2024 general fund budget. The amendment includes items for the following department: legislative, judicial, information technology, fleet maintenance for police, streets, fire. The total cost combined is $203,500. Does anyone have any questions?
I have a couple questions about the cell phones. Is that because we're adding additional lines, or do we need more cell phone coverage? Is that because of a change in service fees, or because?
Glenn?
It is because they continue to add more people, and they need more phones, and they need more cases, and they need more protective cases. And when we add, for instance, a police officer, they not only get a phone, they also get a computer in their car, which uses a cell line. And if they have a desk, they also have, well, that doesn't count, but the phone and the computer. So some people have 2 lines. So it's just we're growing, and more people with Dayforce, for instance.
Right.
We started adding people that just had flip phones, laborers out in the field. They needed a phone, plus not necessarily only Dayforce, but online applications where they can close their work orders on their phone now that we're expanding to. So it's just our growth.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to 12, Resolution 2024-15, a resolution of the City of Laverne to appropriate funds to the nonprofit organizations for fiscal year 2024-2025. And you should have that list all in front of you. Total amount is $2,672,259. Any questions? Moving on to number 13, a resolution to accept Section 2 of the Finch Branch subdivision. This received a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission on May 28th, 2024. Again, this is just like it sounds, it's subdivision acceptance. We will have a 1-year maintenance period on this, and then we will take over all the maintenance. Any questions? Moving on to 14 then. Resolution 2024-17, a resolution to name the new Fire Station 41/headquarters in honor of Richard Ricky McCormick. This is something that we've talked about for a number of years after Chief McCormick's passing with the new fire station, and the new fire station all started when he was chief, and since his passing, I know we've had Chief Clark and Chief Beasley, and so this would honor him. It would name the building for him, and a plaque would be placed inside the new building in his honor. Is there any questions?
That's awesome.
Moving on to 15, motion to approve an amended and restated water operation and maintenance agreement with Inframark LLC. Danny, you want to come up and talk a little bit about this? Because I know you and I have gone around a little bit. You didn't bring your vest and your hat.
He needs his safety gear.
I should know that's just standard uniform apparel from now on. So. I haven't got my new one yet. Not to throw anybody under the bus.
May have to wait till next year because we gave out everything.
Hey, that's great. That's a good problem to have.
So Danny, just kind of walk us through this, because I know we've talked a little bit about the wording and some of the pricing, but
Yes,
that's
sir.
not everybody, so.
Yeah, so just a couple things that were updated, amended from the previous contract. It's some formatting issues with the table of contents. There was a section in there that was kind of skipped, so we had to make sure everything lined up for that. The chemical cap amount was given a hard number instead of virtually just agreeing, verbally to what we would go by each year of the 5-year contract. The base fee and maintenance cap numbers were updated for the 2024 CPI, or reflecting the CPI. If this is passed by the board, this amended contract would go into effect next Tuesday on the 4th, but the contract term is still remains the same. So it's still January of 23 through December of 27. It doesn't add that year and 5 months to the end now that it's
And that's why it's restated, not restarted.
correct.
And this, as far as the city already bears the cost for chemicals. So other than as far as having more accurate reporting with that, there's no other financial impact with this.
It's just to get us on par with each other so that the city knows what to budget for.
Right. Any questions about this?
Yeah, you brought up the contract. What is the city paying y'all to run the water treatment plant?
I do not have that number off the top of my head. I apologize, but I can get that information for you. And
Okay,
send
can
it
you
to
find out?
Yes, sir.
I can answer that. Right now, it's about 1.7, 1.8 million, and I think with the new contract, it's just a little over 2 million.
Any other questions? Thank you, Danny.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Moving on to 16, we've got appoint or remove board and committee members. First, we've got the Beautification and Arts Advisory Committee. We've got one vacancy, which was Al Lanes, who has since now passed. And we have no other applicants at this time for this board. Moving on to Economic Development Advisory Committee, we've got one vacancy, which I was contacted, and we should have an applicant for Tuesday night. And then we also have Eric Tudobaney's term that's expiring at the end of June. we will reach out to him to see if he wishes to remain on this committee or not. And that will come back before the board. Next, we've got the Local Emergency Planning Committee. We've got 4 terms vacant. Staff is recommending Danielle Brown for the vacant Finance Department. And then we're still working on who the 3 Tier 2 organization members should be. Is there any questions on that? And then last, we've got the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. We've got 1 term vacant due to the resignation of Jody Espinoza. And then we've started advertising that on Channel 3 and on social media, as we do with all of ours. And if we don't have any applicants by Tuesday night's meeting, this will be removed from the agenda. See any questions on that? With that, we will move to Mayor and Alderman comments. Alderman Waldron.
Yeah, as I was talking about earlier, I've got some people who's called me about their water bill, and they're mostly fixed income or senior citizens that, you know, they don't use the 2,000 gallons. Some use like 800 or 900 gallons, but the city charges them a 2,000 gallon. And I asked a few days ago, was that rate increase would affect them? They said, yeah, it will affect them. And a lot of people is not real comfortable with it. They're already charged 2 and 3 times the water bill of what everybody else is getting charged. And then they're, on top of that, their bill is going up. You know, I thought maybe that would be something the city could look into to if you use less than 2,000 gallons, your bill won't be increased. And I told them that I'd bring it up, and I did. And then that's all I've got down to discuss tonight. But check on the elderly. We got some good weather out there, but still check on the elderly and check on them, and make sure your pets has got ample shade and water. I see a lot of dogs in backyards on chains, and check on your elderly and shade and water for your pets. Thank you.
Alderwoman Hobbs.
I just want to congratulate Chief Mays and the police department for their hard work in the recent fentanyl and firearms bust. Thank you so much for your hard work in keeping our community safe. And just a reminder that the library is having their summer kickoff on Saturday. So hope to see y'all out there Saturday morning.
Alderwoman Hobbs. Or Hobbs.
Kudos to the Parks and Rec, David, you and your crew for the block party and the Touch-A-Truck. It was a success. We gave out 350 helmets, safety helmets, and vests. The count was there, and I know we gave them all out because I stayed till the end. Lots of kids were happy, a lot of honking, and saw a lot of food from the food trucks. And I walked around the vendors before the event began and told them good luck, and then I walked back around, and they were very impressed with the people, the community coming out and supporting them and then going over to the trucks. So kudos to you all. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Noah.
I think it's easy to see that we all really appreciate all the departments. You guys do an amazing job. I mean, I could sit here and pick on each one of you, but we'll welcome Chief Mays' wife down here from up north, and hopefully we can get her conducted into some good Southern cooking, Southern language with the help of Chief Beasley, who's real good at it. But there's 2 people that we don't hardly ever say anything about. I'm going to say something about them because they kind of work together on meeting nights. Is Mayor Cole and Miss Jules. Everybody thinks that that's a great thing. What they do, they get us some food. I think it's so they can get us here early. But Mayor, thank you, and Jules for helping us, and I know the employees, they're here all day, and they don't have to leave and go find us something to eat and all that kind of stuff, because I know it's a hassle. I always see Glenn in there, he's always eating, because but we appreciate it, we really do, I mean, that's it.
And all the credit goes to Jules on that. She's the one who coordinates it all. I show up to eat, so she takes care of us in that respect.
She coordinating it, but without the head honcho okaying it, you know.
Oh, 2 pair, 3 pair takes care of us. So, want to take a moment and thank our streets department. So there's been a little bit of a road closure on Waldron Road over by the Nashville Edge Apartments, and our paving crew, our contractor for the paving, went over there to fix a very, very large area of a big bump that had been out there for years and years, going back to, I'd say, whenever I first moved in. And that has finally been fixed. The first time they didn't shut it down, so it caused some waviness. They went back out there, they shut the road down, they paved it. I went over it yesterday. It is as smooth as can be. So thank you and your team, and tell the contractors thank you. It was good work. And everyone is no longer having to dodge that pothole. I'm sure you're familiar with it. And, or not pothole, but big bump over there. Want to thank David and his team. They've been doing an amazing job with the block party, all of our different events. And our next big one that's coming up over there is July 4th. So we look forward to seeing them have a little fun, play a little music, and fire a few fireworks. And then thank you to our police and our fire. They, over the last few days, have been working tremendously, whether it is working on structure fires, there's been miscellaneous fires, enormous amount of medical calls that were very urgent, and then both our big drug bust and then the shooting situation that has happened. So they have been all over it, working as a team, getting this all wrapped up and taken care of. So on behalf of our community, thank y'all for what you do. With that, I call this meeting adjourned.